South Dakota State will get the ball at the 25-yard line, and they are led out onto the field by Zach Lujan, who takes over as the starter this season, although last year he got some valuable experience because of an injury to their starter, Austin Sumner. Lujan actually started in 5 games last year, threw for almost 2,000 yards and 13 touchdowns, as you see, and not exactly the way they wanted to get him the experience, but coming in to his first season as the starter, I'm sure they're happy that he has it.
We stay home for the play-action pass.
On second down, they will throw, and with a little space on the outside is Jake Winicki, and he slipped away down the sidelines. Winicki tripped up but stays on his feet. They mark him out back at the 14-yard line.
They get him up on the outside. You get him one-on-one. You have to make that open field tackle. I know he's 6'4". He looks like he's about 220 pounds. He's about 208. But the guy can truly play. And you'll see right here as he steps out of bounds right there. Right foot goes out of bounds. Great call by the official.
A little delay on the direct snap to Mengarelli. And he is dragged down at the 5-yard line. Players already, Ben, for when South Dakota State has the football.
Well, we just saw Winicki right there. He was the Missouri Valley Freshman of the Year. You can see his big playmaking ability. Mengarelli steps in for Zach Zenner. We'll see how he does starting at running back. TJ Simke, because they...
2nd and 2 from the 5. And a misfire intended on the outside for Connor Landberg, the junior out of Laguna Hills, California. This should give us a little better idea. That's straight across and would be pretty hard to tell. Takes a step.
After further review, the ruling on the field was an incomplete backward pass. The ball would be placed at the 11-yard line, 3rd down.
Lujan working from the shotgun with Mengarelli to his left. Lujan with time. An open receiver, but it's out of the hands of Trevor Wesley. Senior out of Parkville, Missouri, who has only attempted 1 field goal in his career. And this one is good, and the Jackrabbits have the early lead.
Zenner, who's now at the Detroit Lions, who ran for like 6,500 yards in his career. When you have a guy like that, so much focus is put in the box trying to stop the run.
Dart. Making his 9th career start. He started the opener last year. Things did not go well. He was taken out of the starting role, replaced by Michael Cummings. An injury to Michael Cummings in the spring game has caused him to miss this entire season. And so Montel Cozart ends a string of musical chairs at the quarterback position, at least when it comes to week 1.
Junior college offensive player of the year. He's going to get a ton of opportunities to carry the football. Steve Sims, we saw, that brings up 3rd and 9. For the first 3rd down, Cozart will have to run. He can, but he puts it in the air, and slipping through a tackle, Trey Parmalee down the sideline, and he's taken down at the 42 of the Jackrabbits. Yes, he did a great job of using his feet to get out of trouble, but he kept his eyes downfield, so that's a confidence play right there from Montel Cozart.
Cozart will throw again, and a quick slant to Kent Taylor, and another first down for KU.
Start. Offense number 62. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
It's an accurate pass.
Got the ball in the hands of Keon Kinner, and he took a hard hit, but he crossed the 25 before he did. Nick Mears on the tackle, but a 9-yard gain for Keon Kinner.
At this level, but it's just not quite the same as it is on game day.
Kinner again. And he fights his way close to the 20. A flag comes in.
Holding. Offense number 84. 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
It's the tight end Ben Johnson who had that 14-yard catch for KU. It's Cozart looking at 2nd and 16. He'll tuck it. He has the speed. And he fights his way down towards the 20. TJ Lally knocked him down after a 10-yard pickup. It'll be close. TJ Lally made the stop, and he's just short of picking up the first down.
building the anticipation. Kinner stumbled forward, but it looks like he has enough. First down, Kansas, and the drive will continue. The girth that he plays with, the big upper body.
Oh, he got red. Dallas Brown jumped that one, and he is headed back towards the KU end zone. Cozart can't take him down, but Steve Sims can all the way back at the KU 25. Dallas Brown, the Sam linebacker, was sitting on that pass.
You guys see him at the bottom of your screen. He just reads it right away. They're trying to set up the little slip screen with the
big heavy back like center was. They've got three smaller backs. This time it is Mangarelli. And he cuts back a couple of times. Touchdown, Jackrabbits. 25 yards for Mangarelli, just his second career touchdown. Drive, heading down the field, converted on fourth down, but a pick the other way. Brown brought it all the way back, and then the touchdown for Mangarelli has spotted South Dakota State at 10-0 lead here in the first quarter. For Zach Zenner as the starting running back, and he has been impressive so far here in the first quarter as it is 10-0. In favor of the Jackrabbits, Ryan Shadler. He's a sprinter, and look at him go! Shadler will take it. The response from the Jayhawks is a touchdown on the ensuing kickoff. Ryan Shadler, a walk-on sprinter at Wichita State, transfers and delivers. 90 yards on the kick return. 7 lead. The response, Ryan Shadler, the touchdown, 90 yards on the kick return. They've given Ryan Shadler an extra yard on his kick return, now officially 91 yards to put KU on the board. First time in 5 years, Ben. KU's had someone run one back to the house.
Oh, thanks, Brendan. Number 17, Ole Miss hosting UT Martin. Jalen Walton, 60 yards for the score. First of 2 touchdowns for him. It's now 13-0 Ole Miss. Back to you guys in Lawrence.
Now Zach Lujan, who is 1 for 2, but the one pass went for 60. This is Mangarelli again. And boy, is he tough to bring down. Makes it all the way out to the 33-yard line. A pickup of 8. We've talked about some of the guys KU is missing. And how about the guys that South Dakota State is missing? Not just Zach Zenner. They're missing their starting quarterback from last year, Zach Zenner, who was all everything for them and is now with the Detroit Lions, and Jason Schneider, who's their top wide receiving threat.
Well, not that you want to see any quarterback go down in Austin Sumner last year, but that'll miss him. But Lujan replaced him very well and had almost 2,000 yards passing. So, yes, they lost him. Lujan's done a great job stepping in, but that loss of Zach Zenner, that was everything to this offense. A
good call, as you can see from that replay. On 2nd and 10. Pass is complete and room to run. Is Wesley the intended target on the last pass, getting this one here. The offense could be determined by their offensive line. Lujan's pass is complete to Winicky, and he's wrestled out of bounds just shy of a first down by the freshman Tyrone Miller. It's already 75 catches in the career of Jake Winicky, who was just a sophomore last year. 1,404 yards, the second most by a freshman in FCS history.
Couple tackles. He's a big guy. You have to wrap your arms around him.
Direct snap to Isaac Wallace on 3rd down, and he is able to pick it up with a gain of 4. To pass on 1st down. There he is again. Winicky, touchdown as a flag comes in. If it stands, it'll be 29 yards. As Winicky was picking on Tyrone Miller again. To 10, Jake Winicky, runner-up for the Jerry Rice Award last year as the top freshman in the FCS. How about his sophomore slump? I don't see it anywhere. And on KU here in the first quarter after the 8-play drive and the touchdown catch for Winicky, who already has 98 yards on 3 catches so far today. Here's another look at that touchdown.
Well, you're going to see Winicky lined up on the true freshman. At about right here, he's going to cross his face with no safety help. You've got a 6-foot freshman corner lined up on a 6'4" receiver. And really, that's just too easy. You're doing, and accountability is everything in football. You have to build that trust.
Cozart to throw. He got buried, and the pass goes incomplete as they're still picking up bodies off of Montel Cozart.
There was a nice little twist play on the inside. Confused the offensive lineman, which allowed the pressure on the quarterback. And Cozart, has to start settling down right now. The first pass of the series, he zipped it out there. It was a great pass, but he's got to calm down. He missed an open receiver on the second play. He just needs to relax as this game goes on.
Punt is fielded at the 20. A few missed tackles and a lost shoot for Jerian Butler. And then flags come in late. Tevin Shaw.
There are two flags on the play. There is no foul for illegal block in the back. However, there is a personal foul on the kicking team for a late hit. There'll be 15 yards at the dead ball spot. First down.
That's not going to make David Beatty happy. He knows that he does not have the depth of a lot of rosters. One thing he wanted to flee 7-yard line. For South Dakota State and their quarterback, Zach Lujan, who has loads of time. And the pass is complete. They're going to give him forward progress out to about the 44-yard line. On 2nd and 3, Isaac Wallace is able to barrel through, and he gets that first down.
But I have to stay aggressive for these guys to make plays and build some confidence.
2nd and 8, Wallace to the boundary, and he's dragged out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Big third down here. Lujan has his man Winicky, and he's got a first down all the way down to the 34-yard line. Didn't need 11, but he got it. Lujan has time again. Complete to Trevor Wesley. A 91-yard kick return. The offense hasn't been able to kick it into gear, but they also haven't been able to keep the football for very long. South Dakota State, impressive in our opening quarter. They lead by 10.
There's not a lot of height and girth on the outside for this KU defense, so I expect him to exploit those two guys.
3rd and 10 from the 16. Looking to the end zone, and he put it up there for him. He made the catch. Looked like he touchdown. That man, Jake Winicky, 125 yards already on 5 catches. And look at the last catch again, because we had to look at it a few times just to appreciate it.
Well, seeing it in real time, we looked at each other like, did he get in? But then slow motion, he got 2 feet in. It wasn't a great ball by Lujan, but
on 3rd downs here today, Cozart has time, but he will tuck it, and he will get it, but he put the ball on the ground. South Dakota State acting as if they have it, and they will dig through the pile. Jackrabbits have the football. 2nd turnover for KU today. To burn red shirts here at KU, especially at the skill positions. If they need a player, he's coming in. Mangarelli's pass, or Mangarelli catches the pass, slips through, and he's got himself his 2nd touchdown of the football game. This one from 29 yards out. And the lead grows again for South Dakota State.
It's your running back. You get Marquise Roberts, number 5 for Kansas on the ground. He's pursuing. That's the only guy. And then you get a chop block on the outside. Get another defender on the ground. If you've got too many defenders on the ground, I mean, obviously, there's nobody there to tackle the ball carrier. So,
and we've only played a few minutes here in the 2nd quarter. The Jackrabbits, they do what they do. John Stigl, Ryan Willis now onto the field. You look at the official depth chart provided by KU. DeAndre Ford is, in fact, listed as the backup, but they're getting the freshman some reps here, and he underthrows Bobby Hartzog at a quick 0-for-2 start, and it'll be 3rd and 10. And he's coming off the field. And Montel Cozart is back in. So a couple of quick incomplete passes. Pressure. And now space for Cozart. And And he's going to tuck it again, reaching for the first down, and they're going to give it to him.
Number 2.
In his third year as a starting middle linebacker and the second year as a captain. Pass complete to Bobby Hartzog. Had to go down and get it. And he's got a first down at midfield. They had a different starting quarterback.
Well, and that's still hard to go into a young high school kid as a receiver, running back, and say, hey, come to our program. You know, we can really make you blossom and really make you a playmaker. I think to look at a stat like that, that's a hard sell. They've had lots. They can go out and find a guy that can fit into the system and maybe can be the guy for 2 or 3 years.
They quickly go for it on 4th and 1, and they punch it through. A gain of 5. DeAndre Mann has one of their injury problems, but Michael Cummings, see the torn ACL in the spring game, but look at his numbers last year. He had 4 rushing touchdowns, 4 kicks, but he did not actually run into the end zone. None of their running backs did. None of their wide receivers caught one that are still on the roster here today.
You talk about loss of production. I mean, nobody's even touched the end zone, so they've got a lot to rebuild here, and that's what they're trying to do in this game. Who's going to be our playmakers?
Third time today they go for it on 4th down. Second time on this drive. They're 2 for 2 so far. And they give it to Kinner, and he got it. They mark him at the 25-yard line. A first down. The drive continues for KU, whose offense has still not put any points on the board. Remember, the 7 they have is from a 91-yard kick return. Gozart didn't like what he had, so he'll go again. He takes another hard hit after crossing the 20. But he wants to see how he bounces back. He has changed his body a little bit. A little misdirection here. Trey Parmalee winds up with the ball in his hands, and Parmalee is into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas. Nice block by Bobby Hartzog. Trey Parmalee punches it in from 19 yards out.
Well, sometimes it just takes some trickeration. I want you to see big Larry Mazik, 6'8", 335 pounds with the key block. That's what springs him. They got everybody flown to the right. They come back to the left.
How about Northwestern hosting number 21 Stanford? Clayton Thorson making his Northwestern debut. Going to do this one all alone. 42-yard score. Northwestern up 10-3 at half. Brendan, Ben, back to you guys.
Cozart, 9 of 13 for 82 yards. Threw an interception and has fumbled the football. Those are the 2 black marks.
Look at him in the huddle and feel like they've got some confidence. That's big for this offense and big for him.
Bobby Hartzog able to come up and get it. And he's pulled out of bounds right at the first down marker, which the coordinator was at Cal with Sonny Dykes. Now we're starting to get a little bit of a look at it as Cozart's pass is complete. And nearing another first down, maybe a little bit short. Both Cozart and the coaching staff have talked all offseason about his maturity. Now he has grown as a leader. And he is willing to get those extra yards to his older brother. Just in talking to him, leading him. He hands it off to Keon Kinner right up the middle. And his speed and stays on his feet will get him a few extra yards. But then as he was wrestled down, the ball popped free. They'll mark him down at the 32-yard line after a 23-yard explosive burst from Keon Kinner. Offensive Player of the Year at the junior college level. And Cozart,
ball carriers number 2,
the keeper, and Jesse Bobbitt able to stop him after 3 yards. They're able to get it to DeAndre Mann, who stayed on his feet just to take a hard hit. 8 straight completions now for Montel Cozart. You talk about him getting in a rhythm. Play clock, got it off, and he's looking at the end zone. Passes ruled in. No catch. Looking for Steve Sims.
There's in that call a little bit. It's 4th and 4. You need this possession to put some points on the board. And then you call a deep fade out to your left across the field. A low percentage catch and a low percentage throw. It looked like he had possession. Maybe his right foot got in, but I think it was out of bounds. A little questionable call. I don't know why you don't go for something a little shorter. Just go for the first down. So it is a first down, but it is for South Dakota State. Zach Lujan has some time. He will throw out to midfield, and it is complete. Dallas Goddard, the tight end, and their best pass-catching tight end option. 26 yards, and all of the half, South Dakota State. Swallowed up back in the backfield. Zach Lujan is sacked. Daniel Wise and Ben Goodman both got there.
You know, a little hitch route to the outside, but he makes everything else go because he can break tackles. He's such a big target, hard to bring down, going against freshman quarterbacks for this KU defense. So he's surprised, I think, these guys now that he can play football. He can compete with these guys at the FBS level.
So, Ben, we got a look at KU. We also got a good look at the offense from South Dakota State, but some impressions from that first half of play. Controlled by South Dakota State for the most part. 31-14 our score here at halftime. And Ben, South Dakota State, they came out like they were in charge today.
Yeah, they really did. You know, we can talk, and we're going to talk more game about Jake Winneke and the type of game that he's had, but I really think the difference has been the fact that this FCS team has come into this stadium and was the aggressor. Their offensive line and their defensive line playing more physical, winning the game in the trenches, and then their offensive line even getting out on the perimeter and making some key blocks and some key runs and passes. So I thought for the most part their tempo was better, they're more physical, and I think that's been the difference in this game outside of Jake Winneke.
Let's check in with Christian Steckel, who just had a chance to catch up with head coach of Kansas, David Beatty.
Yeah, guys, I just ran out of the locker room with him here onto the field, and he told me, look, we just have to stop limiting our mistakes. We can't give them anything. Turnovers are killing in this game, and we've got to be more productive on first down. He said the other thing that we've got to do is make sure that we're effective getting off the field. I said, how'd you like the tempo in the first half of your offense? He said, well, first, we got to make stops on third down to get our offense back on the field. But when we do, you saw as the game wore on, into the second quarter, we started playing at a faster rhythm, at a faster tempo. That's where I want this team to be. I said, can you come back and get this thing done? He says, we can, but we can't turn the football over. We've got to play great special teams. Fellas?
Well, once again, and I agree. I mean, you got to win special teams with the way they're built right now.
So Cozart on first down. Quick pass out to Joshua Stanford, the first time we've called his name today. Transfer from Virginia Tech. He's a junior. They really like him, but Ben, I don't even think they targeted him in the first half.
Yeah.
They look right to him again, and look at the hands as he goes up to get it and then slips by for a few more yards. They'll give him all the way to the 44-yard line, 12 yards as they and come here to KU and play immediately. And there's a catch made by Shaq Barbell as he gets the first down for KU.
Throws, accurate throws, and just getting the ball out.
Throwing again, spreading it around to Trey Parmalee, who has a touchdown today. And he's knocked out of bounds after another first down. Dryan Butler knocked him out. KU as well on this first drive. We're seeing guys like Tyler Patrick come in, Barbell, Stanford being targeted a couple of times. And now they throw to the left side for Darius Crowley. Crowley, tiptoe, sideline, and he couldn't hang on. They mark him out at the 6.
And that's what happens this whole drive. It's been quick hitch, just quick, get it out. Try to have the receivers make some plays, and this is what you're talking about. You have to make tackles in open field. 2 missed tackles there, and Crowley's able to take it down to the 5-yard line and see if they can punch it in for the first score of the second half.
It's a 25-yard catch. That's the third different receiver to make his first catch of the game on this opening drive of the second half. Time for Cozart. Does he have an option? Pumps, and he'll get to the 3.
Are sitting there, and it was smart for him to pull that ball down and try to make something out of nothing.
He will hand it to Kidder. Touchdown! Made it look relatively easy. Right down the field. Zach Lujan has put himself on the map, and so is Winneke. Here in this football game, there is a flag down, but the pass was complete out to the 37-yard line. 15 yards if it stands.
Foul. Hands in the face. Defense number 96. 15-yard penalty first down.
Winicki's at the bottom of your screen. And no one is going to catch a pass here. Dorrance Armstrong, the true freshman who they bring in off passing downs for that exact situation, gets his first sack. That one. This time he stays in the pocket and finds his man in stride. Crowley down the sideline and into Jackrabbit territory.
Pass complete to number 12.
Now he's playing for Kansas. And he's had an impact here in the second half. Kozar will take off to the 35 and a little room, and he'll duck out of bounds. Nick Farina chased him out. He will be a big part of this offense for Kansas as the season goes along. Kenner with some green in front of him. Kenner to the end zone.
Touchdown, Kansas.
He's hard to bring down. A 26-yard touchdown as Kenner slipped past Benasiak and Farina on his way in.
Well, take a look. You get a chance to see here in a little bit what I'm talking about, but that offensive line led by Larry Mazik, number 78, had a key block on the reverse touchdown run.
Thanks, Brendan. Rutgers hosting Norfolk State. Opening kickoff of the second half. You got to see this. Junior Janarian Grant is going to take this 80 yards for the touchdown. The Scarlet Knights now running away with this one. It's 42-13 in the third. Brendan. Well, Brendan, Ole Miss has been dominating all day against Tennessee Martin. Take a look at this. 93 yards on the return for Trey Elston. It's 55-0. Ole Miss starting their season off right. They're home against Fresno State next week. Back to you guys.
Just a three-point ball game, middle stages, third quarter. And Mingarelli right up the gut. Replace a guy like Zach Zenner, the third leading rusher in the history of the FCS. As that ball's complete to the outside for Landberg and a first down for the Jackrabbits. Done what they've wanted to do on offense, running the football, and you see the numbers there for Lujan lately. And he connects with his guy there, Jake Winicki. That is his 7th catch of the afternoon. Just to put into perspective the amount of yards picked up by Zach Zenner. This is all of NCAA Division I for the last 2 seasons.
It's so surprising. He's got some suddenness to him, and really he's been the talk of this whole Detroit Lions training camp. And you know, he's one of these young guys that we just have to keep an eye on.
The result of the play is a first down. After the play was over, they had ball personal foul, late hit. Offense number 61, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So they get the first down, and then they march it back after Dylan Sider came in late on offense.
See him at the bottom of your screen, number 61. Plays dead, plays down. Yeah, you can't do it.
Pressure coming. Oh, what a hit! And it's picked off nearly by Gladsack, but Lujan got his helmet knocked completely off. Just an unblocked rush. Joe Deneen Jr. Local boy, as they call him. He's from Lawrence High School, and he delivered
That's one of those, like, 8x10 pictures you get blown up and you'll keep for a
strap on a little tighter, and he takes the snap. Throws a bullet to Winicki, and a first down completed between Winicki and Lujan. 2 receivers both at the top. They hand it off to Wallace instead with a cutback. And he runs right into Tyrone Miller. 3 receivers set. Pressure coming. He got rid of it to Wallace out of the backfield, and he's dragged out of bounds by the heels. Joe Deneen Jr. again in on the tackle. And the pressure was coming from Brandon Stewart. Forced Lujan to get rid of the ball quickly. Are both in his block. Third and 1. They run in that direction. And look at Wallace fighting for it. And he has the first down.
If the ball carries, breaking tackles, but that's an area where they need to improve.
Mingarelli to the right side. He's able to step his way down inside the 10-yard line.
Winicke's on the bottom of your screen. Watch him.
Looking in his direction, not open, goes the other side of the field and overshoots Connor Landberg. And it is good. And South Dakota State stops the bleeding after 21 straight points from Kansas. A field goal on the board expands the lead to 6. Is that right, South Dakota? Did I say that?
I think you said it right.
First down on the pass complete to Steve Sims.
Volumes when you're a true freshman, you come into camp in the spring and they're like, yeah, you're going to be running with the ones right away. I mean, they see some special talent out of him as we see some nifty moves right now.
Special talent
by Kinner, but two pretty explosive guys.
In South Dakota State, KU with the football on the 39-yard line. Cozart's going to advance that. Stopped just shy of a first down after a 9-yard pickup. Stopped by Cole Langer. We're in the third quarter. They need a yard. Reaching for it, and it'll be close. Which may come into play.
It'll be in his left arm the whole time. About the 31-yard line is where the sticks are. They may move it back a little bit, but it looks like, at least from that angle, football a bit better.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
The third progression that's really going to open this offense up. So you're starting to see that. If the guys are covered, first of all, he doesn't know where to go, so he just runs.
Kinner right up the middle again, spinning, still on his feet, down to the 16-yard line. We have seen some flashes from Keon Kinner. Made the connection, called the coaching staff here at KU, and the rest is history. Over the middle to DeAndre Mann. And the Jayhawks are in business. It'll be first and goal. 2nd and 4. To the end zone. Jump ball for Kent Taylor. Out of bounds. Florida tried to haul this one in.
And just like I thought, you see him come right into the football game, and they target him right away, one-on-one.
But Kansas is within striking distance for the first time. Just 4 yards away. The pitch to Kinner. He can't get in. Stopped in the backfield. Now, Nick Bartolona from 23 yards away. The kick is good. And it's back to a 3-point lead for South Dakota State. 11:18 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Northwestern looking good against number 21 Stanford. Fourth quarter, down 16-6. Trying to get into the end zone, but no luck for Kevin Hogan. Intercepted by Kyle Cairo. The Wildcats go on to win this one, 16-6. Brendan, back to you.
The FCS South Dakota State Jackrabbits out of Brookings, South Dakota. Lujan swings it out to Isaac Wallace, and the running back powers across the 30-yard line. 2nd and 4. Wallace again. First down, South Dakota State, as he brings it out to the 38-yard line after a gain of 7 before Greg Allen. First and goal first and 10 for Wallace, and he gets into Kansas territory, knocked down at the Jayhawk 46.
Back and close off any holes.
Wallace has some space again, and he avoided most of that tackle, sent 2 KU defenders colliding into one another, and he takes it down to the 34-yard line. Dakota State 5 for 12 on third downs here this afternoon. They need 7. Mangarelli can't get it for him. Skylar Miles stepped up to make the play. It'll be up to Lujan and Wallace. Huge play here. They lead by 3, 4th and 5. Lujan to the outside. And it's a catch. Complete.
Great design, a great, fantastic design, compressing the formations, bringing the tight ends, even the receivers down, which gains you a little bit of leverage on the outside. Goddard does a good job of setting up the route. That was a perfectly placed ball by Lujan. So 4th down, huge conversion for this Jackrabbit offense.
A couple of fantastic throws and catches today between Lujan and his receiving corps. Goddard with that one. Hand it to Wallace. Lunging forward. Down to the 3.
You're going to see Goddard here. Look at the compressed situation I'm talking about. The space of all these guys tight in the formation. And he's going to set up this route with a little bit of inside to outside. Lujan with the perfect timing. Drops it right in the bucket. That might be, at this point, the biggest play for this offense throughout this football game.
The heavy lifters come in for South Dakota State. Direct snap to Wallace, and he's in for the touchdown. First touchdown of the second half for South Dakota State, but it gives them some breathing room with just over 6 minutes to play. They needed a key 4th down conversion from Lujan to Dallas Goddard with a great catch on the sidelines to keep the drive alive. To 10 points, Isaac Wallace has been the featured back for the second part of this football game. And he's put up.
As a defensive guy, I'm sure you can relate. With a 10-point lead, it's on them to get it done.
Well, absolutely. I mean, equally as important. This is a huge drive for the KU offense and an equally bigger series for this SDSU defense. Because SDSU's offense can grind you down.
After Keon Kinner got loose for 8, he picks up the first down as he gets to the 40 before Jesse Bobbitt.
As they think with this type of offense that they're running.
Cozart pumps and then has to go short to DeAndre Mann, and he got knocked off the football, and it was picked up by Joshua Stanford over at the sideline. But look out, DeAndre Mann. Having been used a lot already on this drive, they bring in another option in Shadler. On a passing play, he's looking long, and Trey Parmalee came back and got it. Flag on the play, but most likely for PI against the defense. The play goes for 33 yards.
To take a shot.
Pass interference. Defense, number 51. The penalties decline. Result of the play, first down.
You can see him right in the middle of your screen. Just blows right past him. The ball a little bit underthrown.
Oh, the football game. As a rushing touchdown, though. Kinner's getting loose. And a first down for KU at the 11-yard line. A little pitch to Kinner. And he gets inside the 5.
They got to get up and go. This is still a 2-score game. So even if you end up with a field goal, you still need time on this clock for the defense to work, get a stop, have your offense run down and score again.
Both teams have 2 timeouts. And this play won't happen. Little movement in the backfield from Keon Kinner.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 78, 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
How crucial this drive is.
Clock continues to move. Cozart, end zone. They need it, and they got it. Kent Taylor with the touchdown. 2:18 to play. Bartolota. And it is now a 3-point game. KU down. New offense and the turnaround here in the second half, Ben.
Well, you talk about the defense need to bounce back after that first half. The offense really responded. Cozart has looked much better. He's crisp. He's accurate.
Don't suspect South Dakota State will be using theirs with the current score. They hand the ball off to Isaac Wallace. He had a hole. It closed relatively quickly, and then a flag there at the end of the play.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 96. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, 2.
Nowhere to go. And he'll have to take the sack. Ben Goodman got their third sack for KU today. But tick, 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 tick. Time will be the issue. At his own 20. And he'll get a chance here. Backed up to the 15. Parmalee up the middle. Escapes at the 30. Knocked down at the 40-yard line.
To overtime, see if they can go down and score and win this football game.
They start at the 41. This is the best starting field position they've had all game, and they attack the middle of the field. With no timeouts here, the pass. Cozart out of the shotgun. Flushed, looking, gets out of bounds, and the clock will stop with 15. For South Dakota State, they had to replace their starting quarterback, one of their top wide receivers, and their top running back option. And these three players stepped up and filled the void quite nicely for the Jackrabbits. Winicky, incredible in the first half, and then they have put it on the shoulders of Isaac Wallace here in the second. 15 seconds to go. Cozart taking forever, will step up and throw. He's got a man, but they're going to run out of time. They've only got 7 seconds. The clock will stop while they move the chains. They do have Matthew Wyman, who kicked a 63-yarder. In practice, they fumbled the snap and then spiked it. The clock is stopped. Nope, they're not going to call him down. They call him down. They're not going to get it off. The game is over.
Unbelievable end. They fumbled the snap. Had to pick it up. His knee was down. They call him down. He doesn't get a chance to spike, and the clock runs out.
The center quarterback exchange, just trying to spike the ball to have a chance at a field goal to tie it. Instead, for the first time in their history, South Dakota State has taken down an FBS opponent. 41-38, the final score.